Hello, my name is Becky Cooper and I am the Level 3 course tutor for the equine courses at Kirklees College. At Kirklees College, we run a BTEC Level 2 horse care course, which is a 1-year course, and we run Level 3 Sitting Guilds technical qualifications, which can either be a 1-year course or a 2-year course, depending on what you are wanting to. Level 2 requires 4 GCSEs at grade 3 and above, and a Level 3 requires 5 GCSEs at a grade 4 or above, including a science, or a merit at Level 2 and including maths and English. The Level 3 course runs over 3 days. 2 days are practical and 1 day is theory. The Level 2 course runs over 2 days. Both of the days on the Level 2 course are carried out at the stables, which is at Hargate Hill in Glossop. The Level 3 course, the 2 practical days are carried out at the Hargate Hill stables at Glossop, and 1 day is currently done on Teams, and that is when all the theory subjects and units are covered. Learners who need to get from Huddersfield to Glossop will be taken in the minibus. There is 150 hours of work placement. Some of the work that is done at the stables will take up some of those 150 hours. There's also trips and visits, which can be included in the 150 hours. But learners will need to get themselves a work placement to be able to get experience within the industry and fulfil this part of the course. The benefits of studying this course. So it is a mix between theory and practical, and it is split between the main campus and the yard. There's a chance to ride a wide range of horses depending on your experience. We have nice quiet horses for less experienced riders, and we have some challenging horses for more experienced riders. There is work placement, so you learn all the ins and outs of working at a professional yard and get a real understanding of what it's like to work with horses full time. There is a chance to work with highly qualified and experienced tutors. We all have our own yards, we all coach freelance, and we all compete ourselves or train competition riders as well. So that means that we all are really at the top of our game. We have a clear understanding of current rules and regulations within the industry, and we're out there actually doing it, not just talking about it. There is the opportunity to go on trips and visits, including a residential trip at the end of the course. Newmarket is always a favourite, where we get to go around the National Stud, and we get to go to a trainer's yard, we watch the horses on the gallops, amongst other things. so it's a really good opportunity. So the facilities that we have at Hargate Hill, we have 3 outdoor arenas, one 20 by 40, one large flat outdoor arena used just for flat work, and a large jumping outdoor arena where we keep a permanent course of show jumps. There is also a large indoor school which has recently had a nice new waxed surface put on it. It's light and airy and great for in the winter time when it's raining or windy and cold. We have a nice barn full of stables that the college uses. The tack rooms are at one end of the stable barn, and it also includes a solarium and a hot water shower for the horses. So the equipment needed for the course, obviously footwear for the yard and riding boots, riding hats that must be up to British standards PAS 015 or VG1. Make sure they've got the kite mark. Some tack shops are still selling hats that aren't up to British standards. Jumpers or breeches, gloves, body protectors for jumping, and no jewellery on the yard. So if you're thinking about getting any piercings done, just make sure you get them done in plenty of time so that they can be taken out when you are at the yard. Uniform is available for students to wear when they're at the stables. It is available once they are enrolled and have an enrolment number just via the online shop. What can I do after my course? There are lots of progression opportunities. If you are on a level 2 course, you've obviously got then the opportunity to go on to one of the level 3 courses. If you are on a level 3, then you can go on to higher education if that's what you choose to do. So there are lots of different universities who specialise in equine and different specialisms within the equine industry, such as behaviour, business, nutrition, rehabilitation, dentistry, breeding. There's absolutely loads. So if you go and have a look on the universities' websites and have a look at what they offer, you'll get a really good idea of what you might like to go on to eventually. Career choices, whether you go to university or whether you go into higher education or not, there is quite a wide range. We've got quite a few students who have gone on to be competition grooms for quite famous show jumpers and event riders. Some have gone on and done freelance coaching, and some have actually opened their own riding schools and done very well that way. There's the sales side of things for learners who perhaps want to work with horses but not actually directly on a yard. So selling different sorts of feeds, tacking equipment to equestrian outlets, supplements, horse box manufacturers. We've had a few students who have gone on and worked for horse box manufacturers, including Equitrek. Insurance is another career to go into, again involved with horses but not directly, and that does offer quite a few progression opportunities within itself. Physiotherapy, dentistry, breaking and schooling, racing, studs, the list's endless. What I will say is that if you want to get a good job with horses and you are working hard and you're putting yourself out there, there are so many opportunities for you to get a really good job. They might not all be in Glossop or Huddersfield. You might need to leave home, you might need to move away from home, you might even choose to go and work abroad for a little while, but there are lots of opportunities out there. So I've come to the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening to me, and please type in any questions and I will do my very best to answer them. Thank you.
Okay, I hope you found that useful. We're now going to go to Becky, who will answer the questions that you've been typing into chat. Are you ready to go, Becky?
Hi, yes, I'm here.
Okay, right, so the first question is, how long does the level 2 course last for and what units will I study?
It's a year-long course. And as I've said in the presentation, it's 2 days, both days are at the stables, and so it will include riding, there's a tack and presentation unit in there, biology, feeding, health, and if you haven't got your GCSEs in English and Maths, you'll also study those. So yeah, a year-long course.
Okay, somebody said, I like working with horses, but I've not ridden for a long time. Does this matter?
Ideally, if you want to come onto the level 3, you would need to have a sort of a reasonable level of your riding. At level 2, you could certainly come in at level 2, do a level 2 first, build up your experience, build up your riding, and then come on to the level 3 after you've done the level 2. Or if you just wanted to do the level 3, a 1-year level 3 course, you could do a non-riding option. That would be fine.
Okay, is there a lot of practical work involved in the course?
Yeah, normally there is. At the moment with COVID, things aren't as normal, but yeah, normally there is. The days at the stables are pretty much full with practical. Certainly in the level 3, and then there is the 1-day theory where all the theory is sort of covered in the 1 day. But yeah, the 2 days at the practical, you'll ride in the mornings. We split the students into 3 groups so that one group will be mucking out while one group's riding, one group will be cleaning tack or brushing the horses off or whatever, and then we rotate the groups so that every week you'll be riding at a different time, so that you'll be doing some of the different jobs. So you're not just doing the same jobs every week, you rotate your jobs. But yeah, there's a lot of yard work, still all the yard work and all that kind of thing, but then all the practical skills are done in the afternoon. So that would be learning how to plait, to clip, different grooming methods of turning horses out, the use of competition tack and fitting competition tack and different sorts of training aids, that kind of thing. So we cover all that in the afternoons, yeah.
Are there any exams on this course?
In the level 2, it's all done by assessment. At the moment, it is assessment based. On the level 3, yes, there are exams, and there is also a synoptic assessment. So it depends a little bit on the exams. It depends on which level 3 you choose to do, if you wanted to do the 1-year course or the 2-year course, but there are exams, yeah.
Okay, somebody's asking, are we in 5 days a week?
No, it's 3 days for the level 3 and 2 days for the level 2. But if you haven't got your maths and English, then you'd have to do that as well. So it would, if you hadn't got your maths and English and you were on the level 2, you would end up doing 3 days. But obviously there's the work experience that needs to be put in as well. So you could do it in your holidays or you could do it at a weekend. But a lot of students like to do their work experience on some of their free days. And if they've got assessment work or assignment work to do, that can be done on the days when you're not actually in college.
Okay, somebody's asked for some more information around the minibus. Do they have to pay for the transport, and where does it go from?
Okay, so the minibus picks up outside the waterfront in Huddersfield at 8:30 in the morning, and it goes over to Glossop, and it usually gets students back for about 5 o'clock back to the waterfront. It is completely free, and if we are passing sort of en route where you live, then we don't mind picking people up sort of on the way, either at Honley or Holmfirth, somewhere that way. But yeah, we pick up at the waterfront, and yeah, it is free.
How long does it take to get to Hargate from Huddersfield, Becky?
About 45 minutes, yeah, and unless there's traffic problems, yeah, it takes about 45 minutes. Okay,
and then somebody else is asking, can you go to university with the level 3 qualification?
Yeah, definitely. We've got quite a few students who choose to go on to university. There are loads of equine degree courses that you can choose from. So when you're on this course, you get lots of sort of ideas of different areas of the equine business. And so then you might decide, oh, well, I like doing this, I'm not so keen on that. I'm interested in the anatomy and physiology, or I'm interested in the business side. So then you can decide which university course you want to go on. But there are hundreds of equine related degree courses.
Okay. My son has an EHCP. Will support come with him?
Yeah. We have a lovely lady. We can't guarantee that she always comes up to Hargate, but she knows us up at Hargate. She knows the horses. She knows everything. She's a lovely lady, and yeah, so we do get support for learners who need it. Yeah.
We've got a question around work placements. What kind of work placements do you provide?
It depends really on what you want to do. We have a list of work placement providers, so we can try and help learners find work placements sort of around where they live. If you want to go to somewhere like an equine vet or something that's a bit more specialist, you need to try and get in there early. I always encourage learners to, as soon as they know they're coming on the course, to try and find themselves something that they're interested in. Otherwise, they might just end up, at a local riding school, which, if that's not what they want to do, they're not going to feel they get a lot out of it. So I think it's important to think, where would I like to go on work placement, and try and find somewhere that interests you. Now, a lot of work placement providers are away from the area, and they do provide accommodation. So if you wanted to go off and work at a competition yard, for instance, for a week, we have some competition riders who do allow our students to go. Obviously, it's a little bit of it can be a little bit intimidating for some learners to do that, but it is a really good opportunity.
Becky, is this the kind of course that's all weather? So that you have to be outside in all weather?
Yes. Yeah, and you know what, in the winter it gets cold, and it can be wet, and it can blow, and you can get cold and you can't get warm again, and you think, what am I doing? So yeah, you need to be prepared for that. And you might, it's dark when you leave home, and it's dark when you get home, but yeah, you need to be prepared to be outside, wrap up warm, and deal with the weather.
We've got a parent asking, will they get updates on how their child's doing?
Yeah, I mean, we have parents' evenings, and we try and keep in touch, especially if any of the learners are having any problems. We try and keep in touch and work with parents to try and sort out any problems, and to try and keep learners updated and work together that way. But yeah, there are parents' evenings that the learners' parents are invited to come and encouraged to come on to.
Somebody's asking, how many places do you have at level 2?
At level 2, usually up to 16, yeah.
And at level 3?
Again, probably we go a little bit more, probably up to about 18. We have had more than that in the past, but we usually have about 18, because doing all the practicals and splitting all the the riders into their rides, we try and keep it fairly small so that we get the quality.
Okay, I've got somebody whose GCSEs are coming in at grade 2, so they're below the level 2 entry criteria. What would you recommend they do?
I think if they can email me, if they can contact me, and then I can have a proper chat with them on a one-to-one basis, really, that would be the best bet. So I think my email address might be on the system somewhere, or if you contact the Taylor Hill Annex and ask them to get a message to me, and then it would be better if I can have a chat with them on a one-to-one basis and decide what's the best way forward for that learner. Okay,
somebody's saying, can they borrow hats, or do they have to have their own?
Yeah, no, you'd have to have your own equipment, particularly with hats, because for lots of different reasons, for hygiene reasons, and everything else. So you have to have your own hats, really, and your own PPE. And like I said on the presentation, do make sure you get one up to standard, because some tack shops are still selling hats that aren't up to standard, and then learners come onto the course and we say, sorry, you can't wear this hat, and they get quite upset. So it is important that you get the ones with the PAS 015 or VG1 type marks.
I want to be a riding instructor. Will this course be the right course?
Yeah, it'll certainly give you a good stepping stone. In the second year there is so you ride in both years obviously, and then in the second year there is a teaching unit where you'll learn how to the health and safety, how to structure lessons, the different sorts of lessons. So you'll get quite a lot of input into actually becoming a coach. And the syllabus does sort of run similar to that of the BHS qualifications, the BHS stages 1 and 2. So if you wanted to do those qualifications as you go along, we do encourage it. Or you could then leave and then go on to do your BHS afterwards as a working pupil somewhere if you wanted to. Most yards, most of the really good training yards want learners to have the stage 2 before they go there. So it would be something to look to do after college and to get your basic BHS qualifications while you're at college.
Okay, and then someone's asking how much time riding do you have?
So you're at the stables twice a week and you ride for an hour each time you're at the stables. So okay. Twice a week really while we're at college.
If memory serves me right, they don't have to pay for that, do they, Becky?
No, it's all for 16 to 19-year-olds, everything's free.
Okay, we've got a couple of questions that are coming around applying. So you can apply via the college website, or if you're at a Kirklees school that uses Get Into, then you can apply using that. There's also a couple of people mentioned about seeing Hargate. I think, Becky, I'll be right in saying we need to monitor how COVID's going before we can open up the stables for people to have a look round. Yeah,
at the moment, all riding schools are on lockdown. So, nobody will be able to go and have a look round at the moment. We can't go there at the moment. So we've just got to wait and see what happens with lockdown, what the government guidelines allow us to do. And then hopefully, as we head towards spring, we might be able to have a day out there. Yeah.
I am hoping later in the year that we'll be able to invite all applicants to have a look round Hargate stables.
Yeah.
So that's all the questions that have come in. Thank you very much, Becky. I hope everybody found that useful. If you would like to visit one of our other open days, then you can visit our website www.kirkleescollege.ac.uk. There is also a range of presentations available on that page for you to watch. If you have any further questions, then you can email info@kirkleescollege.ac.uk, or you can telephone 01484 437 070, and the team will be available until 7:30 tonight to deal with any questions. A recording of this presentation will be available on the website within 48 hours if you would like to watch it again.